Here at Criswell Automotive Field, Bethesda Big Train in search of their 20th win of the season, and we'll have you here on Big Train TV as they take on the second place Gaithersburg Giants. Hello everyone, and a pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. Tyler Gallo and Ben Bobek here with you on Big Train TV as the Big Train are set to go in search of their 20th win and the Montgomery Cup. Ben, you know, it's going to be a good game so far, and they've got Darius Foster leading off tonight. First pitch, taken in for a strike, and we're underway.
Yeah, interesting night for baseball here. A little rain in the area, but we play on through it all. And as you said, a little bit of a revenge game here for the Big Train in a couple ways. Lost last night down in South County. Lost to Gaithersburg last time they faced off. That one bounced off the front foot of Foster.
And he is aboard and ready to go to second base. Or, I'm not sure what they're calling there. Home plate umpire Darren Schuberg is saying that they're going to determine to see if he was hit by the pitch. They'll converge near the pitcher's mound. Tonight's umpires, it's a good intro for them. Darren Schuberg behind home plate, Lou Cohen at first base, and Norm Gordon will man third base tonight. So they're going to determine, they're going to say that it did hit him, so Darius Foster is aboard with no one out to lead off this game.
A little bit luckily for Foster there. He discarded of that bat rapidly. He was ready to take his base as he would be afforded there after wearing the hit by pitch again off the front foot.
So runner on first now for Austin Gauthier, the second hole hitter.
First time in 22 years they've changed it, says Sal Colangelo from the dugout.
First offering from starting pitcher Jake Michael. Here's the pitch. Fouled it off into the screen, 0-1. Michael, he did pitch a couple of innings, a couple of scoreless innings in a suspended game, but his stats for this season, he's got a 12 ERA and 4 strikeouts. He pitched against the South County Braves a couple of weeks ago. His first appearance since then, and looking to turn in a good start, but things flush against him right away here.
Yeah, no record, just 3 innings of work on the year. Good opportunity for him to get his season back underway as it's just about crunch time here in the CRCBL. Like you said, Big Train looking for their 20th win of the season.
Gauthier calls time as Foster got off to a big lead there. 0-1 the count. One offering from Jake Michael. Here's the pitch. Gets away, and Foster will easily trot on down to second base, so a pass ball allows Foster on to second, and Gauthier has a runner in scoring position almost immediately.
Gauthier has dined when the Big Train batters ahead of him have been able to put themselves in an advantageous situation. 236 batting average on the year, but a sky-high 19 RBIs for number 31 there.
2 consecutive 6:58 start times for the Big Train as they start early. Last night didn't help them out too much. Lost 14-7 in Lorton, Virginia, in a game that felt more like a 14-0 blowout. Zips a ball in there, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, really backwards game for the Big Train. Pretty contrary to what we've seen from them throughout the season. Fell behind with a couple big innings allowed in the first and the fourth innings. Josh Gross in his first start of the year. And then the offense was able to kind of chip away. You thought maybe they would make it a little bit closer, but they just couldn't contain the runs after those couple big innings, especially that 7-run fourth for South County. So I think Gauthier maybe had the count wrong.
Now things are going crazy here in the first 2 batters, and a very buggy night here in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Humid, muggy, whatever you want to call it.
You can feel a kind of like thickness just hanging through the air, and maybe Gauthier a little bit affected by that here early.
So 3-1 now to Gauthier. Good hitters count for him. Michael checks on Foster at second. Here's the pitch. Up and in, and there's ball 4 as Gauthier takes his base and flashes a smile, and he's ready to take on first base. Matt Thomas up to the plate now.
Yeah, and we'll see, what transpires the rest of this inning. But obviously a really good start with 2 really high-quality on-base guys in Foster and Gauthier. Talked about Gauthier's ability at the plate and bringing runners home, but he's a dangerous presence on the base paths. Plenty of speed here for the 3-hole hitter, Thomas.
It's Thomas, who's hit a bit of a slide recently, but he's picked up his bat of late. First pitch to him. Taken in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Thomas homered earlier this year here in Gaithersburg, way back when. looking for another one.
The spacing of the 3 games here in Gaithersburg have been very interesting. The opening night, one a couple weeks later, and now here we are, our final trip up here to Kelly Park.
0-1 now to Thomas. Dances out of the way of that one, and it's 1-1. This is actually not the last trip to Gaithersburg, as we will come here one more time on the 15th. That is the final time.
Yeah, so still interesting spacing.
Patrick Chapman has just arrived here at the ballpark.
Could spell doom. Or not.
Last night it did, of course.
You never know.
Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Thomas takes another one high, and it's 2-1. Foster is the runner at second. Gauthier at first. Thomas at the plate and looking to dig in here against Jake Michael, who, as we said before, has had a game that is yet to be official on his stat book, but a 12 ERA nonetheless. Getting a start here.
It would be
2-1 offering. Here's the pitch. Thomas lashes one down the right field side and out of play and heads up. Anyone over there in the woods?
Windshield's up as well. Always a danger zone here in the Kelly Park parking lot. Going to be fascinating to see how the Gaithersburg pitching plan unfolds from here. Obviously, pretty steep pitch count through 3 batters so far for Michael. Curious to see what's on deck out of Jesse Frawley's deck of cards there.
The 2-2 hits Matt Thomas, and the bases are loaded, so the control eluding Jake Michael here in the first inning, and he's got bases loaded before he's recorded an out.
Yeah, that was loud, almost a thunk. I think it caught that elbow protector on that front left arm, and you know, found out with the helmets last night, arm guards today. That's why you wear them.
So here's Rocco Pepe with the bases loaded and nobody out. Has anywhere, he can do anything to get a runner in here. Wild pitch, pass ball. It's Darius Foster on third. So
When
you would think anything in play beyond the outfield or into the outfield grass, maybe up the middle or in the infield on the ground ball would score the runner. First pitch from Michael. Pepe smokes one up the middle, and that is going to be fielded at second for one, back to first. And he's out. A double play. The runner does come in to score. But it's a double play, a slow developing one. A nice diving stop by Keishel at second base, or at shortstop. And Pepe has 2 runners erased. So Foster comes in to score, but everybody else is out.
Hard hit,
6-4-3.
hard hit ball there from Pepe, but a fantastic diving stop by Keishel in the shortstop hole. Like you said, slow play. Took a second to collect himself, gather his belongings, so to say, flipping over to second base, and eventually Martinez to Boma able to turn it. 2 quick outs.
Alderman, fresh off of a home run in Lorton, but he has departed Lorton, and away from Lorton, he just has 1 home run, and that was at Povich Field. But he would love to get one here to give the Big Train more of a lead here, more of a cushion. They got 1 run. It is 1-0. Big Train getting an early lead for the first time in a couple of games, albeit on the double play. Alderman bloops one in the air, shallow left coming on. That's not going to be caught. And coming in to score on the RBI single is Austin Gauthier as Kemp Alderman checks in with an RBI, and he continues to stake claim to the leaderboard as the Big Train move to 2-0. They double their lead.
29 now on the year for Kemp Alderman, a hair shy of 30, and he delivers with a loud line drive to left center field, dropping it in, scoring Gauthier easily from second. So the double play, you know, not the plan, you know, not how they would have drawn it up with bases loaded and nobody outs, but they still managed to get 2 runs home here in the first.
So Michael now just has a runner on first to worry about in Alderman, but Grant Knipp, the catcher, is up. First time we've seen him in a couple of days. First pitch to him. Taken right down the middle for a strike, and it's 0-1. Grant Knipp back into the lineup after a couple of nights off. Got a 0-1 count to work with. Comes up empty on the swing and the miss at the pitch. Tries to golf one, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, good off speed there in the dirt. Getting Knipp to chase out front. A little bit of a hole here for Grant to dig himself out of with the bat.
Bunch of fans here at Criswell Automotive Field. See a lot of people here, more than we've seen all season here. We've been here. 0-2 now to Nip. Gets away, but staying at first base is Kemp Alderman. Once again, thank you for tuning in here on Big Train TV. Tyler Gallo and Ben Bobeck here with you at Criswell Automotive Field. Our third of 4 trips to Gaithersburg this season. We'll be back on the 15th. Tomorrow night we'll be in Alexandria, or we'll be home against Alexandria. We'll have you out for that one. Last home game for a couple more. As Big Train continue their road swing. They'll head to D.C., and then they'll be back home for 2. D.C. for 2, back home for 2. Doubleheader in D.C. on Saturday. I'll have the first game, and Ben will have the second game for that one. Southeast D.C., very nice ballpark there. 1-2 now to Nip. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Michael gets out of it relatively unscathed, but he does allow the 2 runners to score. It's the Big Train. State claim to a 2-0 lead. Grayson hit to the mound when we come back here on Big Train TV. Grayson Hitt, who's done his best ace impression this season, will take the mound for his 4th start of the year, taking on Gaithersburg. This season, he's been impressive. 2-0, 2.25 ERA, and 28 strikeouts as he looks to lay claim to that leaderboard. But he'll have to do battle with Dusty Mercer, the leadoff hitter for the Gaithersburg Giants, guy that has been in the leadoff spot every time these two teams have battled. First pitch to him. Zips that one in there, and actually zips one. It's 0-1.
Yeah, some cheese on that cheese. A lot of lactose on that pitch from Grayson Hitt to start off here.
Fast worker, swing and a miss as Mercer blown away by that fastball, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, and Hitt has been really impressive this season, as you saw there. Through his 4 starts, 15 innings, just a monstrous number of strikeouts on the year.
He has the 0-2. Here's the pitch. Gets away a little bit and tails outside of the zone, and it's 1-2.
I'll be interested to see, obviously you talked a little bit before about how the Big Train respond as a team after that loss down in South County.
So it's tapped foul, and we'll do it again.
But also how Hitt responds as an individual. Obviously, we've seen how effective he's been as a starting pitcher this year for the Big Train. But his last outing, 3 innings of work, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 7 strikeouts, and 1 walk. A short outing, not exactly the stellar excellence we've come to expect from Hitt.
So Mercer fouls another one off. Big Train currently lead the division by 5 games over these Gaithersburg Giants. 19-5, searching for victory number 20, as well as the Montgomery Cup, which is the trophy of the head-to-head record against teams in Montgomery County.
I'm curious to find out if there's an actual trophy for this.
There probably isn't, but here's the pitch. Mercer loops one down the left field line, and selling under is left fielder Foster, and will make the play for the first out. So an F7 for the first thing out, and that'll bring up Carson Keithley.
I don't know if it's just our vicinity to the home plate area, but that thing was loud off the bat.
It was.
Got a pretty good piece of contact on that baseball. But as you said, settles nicely for Foster, the first out of this one.
So the Big Train currently, like I said, lead the division by 5 games. Encroaching behind the Giants, though, are the Alexandria Aces, who have just won 5 in a row, and they've been on fire.
It'll be a really good race for second.
It will be, but Big Train currently now is their division to lose. Set. So, Keithley took a ball for the first thing and hits ready to go. Here's the pitch. Hits one way up there and foul, and it's 1-1. Ten games out are both the South County Braves and Silver Springs Tacoma Thunderbolts. There's a strike called there for Grayson hit, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, beautiful job there to mix in the off speed on the 1-1. Gaithersburg a little bit ahead on the fastball. Last 2 pieces of contact. Loud fly out and a loud foul ball. Oh, that's a good looking off speed again. A little high, I think.
Solid setup pitch there
Maybe
for Grayson
outside.
hit on 2-2. He'll look to do it one more time. He sets and delivers with those green shoes. Here's the pitch. Broken bat blooper over the Big Train dugout and into the screen for a foul ball.
R.I.P. to that lumber.
Splinters at home plate.
I don't know if it's just the pop that hit is bringing right now, or again, kind of how close we're situated behind home plate. But all 3 times Gaithersburg Giants have put bat to ball here. It's been quite loud.
It really
You need
has.
to get like a shotgun mic. Hit that.
2-2 here from hit. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss as Keithley comes up flailing at that one, and there's 2 down. He'll go to that breaking ball when he needs to for the strikeout pitch, and it just is hellacious.
And for Keithley, the league, at one point the league leader in batting average. Now the team leader in batting average, and just way overestimated that one, way out in front of it. Caught reaching on the breaking ball for the second out of this one.
So here's West Coast Conference Rookie of the Year, Luke Keishel, up to the plate. Co-Rookie of the Year as he takes a strike in there, and it's 0-1. Grayson hit, just mowing down batters at a premium this year.
I think first time we've seen that curveball to start a batter.
Usually a guy that zips up the hard stuff. Here's the 0-1. There's a heater, and it's low, and it's 1-1. Criswell Automotive Field, Big Train have played to a 1-1 record here in their 2 prior meetings. Gaithersburg have been an unfriendly opponent for the Big Train, only team that has beat them twice. I believe so. 1-2 against the team.
That would be correct.
Excuse me, 2-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Is a little bit late on that one was Luke Keishel.
So already a better start to his outing for hit than he had last time. Allowed a leadoff runner on an error before his own fielding error, I should mention, before that 2-run home run by Dylan Oxier in that last start against Silver Spring Tacoma. But bounced back, like we said, those are the only 2 runs he allowed through his 3 innings of work and dialed in 7 strikeouts.
Very loud home run off the bat of Dylan Oxier back at Povich Field. I believe a little over a week ago now. So he had a couple of days off in between his last start. Hit 2 strikes and gets Keishel swing, and Nipple fire to first in time to retire the side. So a 1-2-3 opening inning with 2 strikeouts for Grayson Hitt as he is up to 30 on the season. And the Big Train come back up to play with a 2-0 lead. Sacramento State Hornet Stingers up. Trevor Doyle up to the plate to lead things off here in the Big Train half of the second inning. Big Train lead at 2-0 after a couple of runs came across the score in their first half. And Grayson hit with an impressive bottom of the first, striking out a pair. First pitch to Doyle, smoked into the screen and fouled. A lot of hard hit balls here for both sides in the opening inning or so.
Very gray skies tonight. Really get the baseball standing out against it.
Almost be better if
Good
DC was in
contrast.
town. Doyle takes a strike and it's 0-2.
Yep, grays under gray skies.
We'll be back there. We'll have to see. So we've been told what the playoff picture will be. It'll be 3 versus 6 and then 4 versus 5 for the opening round. And then, of course, second round, Big Train would play if they were the first seed, would play as Doyle sears one up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. Trevor Doyle gets the second Big Train hit of the day. As I was saying, as of right now, Big Train would be the first seed, and they would play the lowest remaining seed, and then vice versa for the second seed. As Trevor Doyle reaches here with nobody out, and Nolan Shanuel back into the lineup tonight coming up.
Yeah, a couple days off for Sean Uell as well. Talked about Grant Knipp before. Good opportunity for Nolan to slide back to that first base spot. Get his feet wet again. Freshman All-American down at Florida Atlantic.
Shanuel's got his high set stance.
Kind of rocking back on that back foot.
Michael ready to go. Here's the pitch. He hits one high and foul out of play. And down the left field line. Not quite sure where that ball
Way
is.
up the hill.
Way up the hill. Wow, I was looking in the wrong spot for that one.
And rolled right back down to Jake Eddington in the Big Train bullpen.
So once again, the Big Train will host the Alexandria Aces tomorrow night at Povich Field, and then they will travel to the Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy for a doubleheader, a twilight doubleheader. They'll play at 4:30 and then 7 o'clock or whenever the first game ends, 30 minutes after that one. That's usually how it goes. The
45 or so.
Yeah, the 0-1 offering from Michael. Shanuel skips that one. That one skips to the backstop, and down to second base goes Trevor Doyle. Wild pitch all the way from Michael. And a runner in scoring position once again for the Big Train. Shanuel is the 8-hole hitter, and then rounding it out on the bottom half is Christian Martin. Order reads like this: Foster, Gauthier, Thomas, Pepe, Alderman, Knipp, and Doyle, Shanuel, and Martin. Shanuel, of course, up now. Pretty quiet here at Criswell Automotive Field, the hallowed grounds. Another one that Shanuel moves his legs out of the way of. And it's 2-1.
.267 hitter on the year. 18 RBIs, 16 hits, 9 runs scored.
Back at the first base position tonight.
Couple of big flies as well.
Michael's 2-1 offering now. Pounds one in there for a strike, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, good spot there, low and tight with the heater. Not really something that Shanuel had a chance to turn on or anything, and he evens the count.
So 2-2. They haven't updated the scoreboard, but they'll do it one more time here. Michael has him where he wants him with a 2-strike count. Can work how he pleases. Here's the pitch from Michael. Long hold, delivers. Shanuel tipped it and not held on to by the catcher Morale. And they'll do it one more time. If you're getting sick of hearing our voices, you can always look at the game report on bigtrain.org tonight after it's over. Quentin Corpuel is writing the recap tonight for the Big Train. Big Train TV, not quite, but the intern staff. Bigtrain.org. Of course, you can always watch our streams. We'll bring you every game tonight. And follow us on Twitter. @GoBigTrain is for the Big Train, and then us. We'll get to that after this pitch. 2-2. Up and in, and it's 3-2. The count runs full. Bo_Bobeck for Ben Bobeck, who will often tweet about football, the soccer version. And Tyler A. Gallo, I don't tweet that much. Just my articles. And anything I find funny. So the count is now full. Payoff pitch now from Michael. Looks back. Holds it, and delivers. Shanuel allowed contact to center field. That's going way back. That's on the warning track at the wall. A leap. And it's bobbled on the warning track, and that'll get a runner into third. As a nice effort there from the center fielder, Hyder, as he made a leaping effort, but did not make the play. Came up empty on that one. And the Big Train have 2 runners in scoring position here with nobody out.
Yeah, beautiful long fly ball, arcing down into deep center field, literally to the farthest part of this ballpark. And Sean Ewell did well to stay with it. Thought Hyder was going to be able to track that. He did a fantastic job of putting himself in the right spot. Just hard to come down with that against that big fence out by the batter's eye in center field.
Never stopped running.
Tough play for Hyder.
Yeah, read it very well and got to second base. And freezing on that one in case it was caught was Doyle. Here's Christian Martin, who takes a strike, and it's 0-1. I mean, Cam Hyder ran about a mile to get to that ball, made a leaping effort, tried to do shades of Riley Johnson in D.C., but instead came up with a bobbled ball. Nearly made the catch. So you got to give him credit for getting back there, but I'm sure he'd rather the catch than the runners on second and third here. Martin weaves out of the way of that one. Count runs to 1-1. Christian Martin, the Virginia Tech commit, had himself a pretty solid couple of weeks at the dish.
Yeah, he's also really established himself just as a steady presence here, albeit in the bottom half of the batting order. But he's played very well out at second base, especially.
Very low crouch stance as he does a little jig there at the plate. And
young fella's getting plenty of reps.
Yeah. And he's been just pretty admirable at second base, playing defense. You know, when Gauthier needs a night off from second base or Torres needs a night off, he can slide in there.
I think I made this point a couple weeks ago, but I think the middle infield, the shortstop and second base positions, really one of the strengths of this Big Train roster.
Martin loops it into left field, coming on as a left fielder. He makes the catch, and the runner will tag and score. As in to score is Trevor Doyle, and the sacrifice fly by Christian Martin. And the Big Train extend their lead to 3-0.
Sean Ewell holds at second.
Sacrifice fly there for Martin. Without the services, I mean, the team's without the services of Kyle Velasquez anymore. So, Christian Martin is making every case to play second base in his absence. The Velasquez error on the team will be sorely missed. But he is back home. So, Darius Foster, order turns over. He was hit by a pitch his first time up, came around to score after a pass ball and a couple other things. Takes one for a ball, and it's 1-0.
Vengeful trip around the bases as ever for Foster. Started out with somewhat controversial hit by a pitch. Made his way to second. Came around to score. It's what he does best.
Michael has the 1-0 and delivers. Foster smacks one to center field, but that's going to be playable for the center fielder, Hyder. He comes in and makes the catch. Thinking about tagging was the Sean Ewell on second base, but he's going to stay there, and there's 2 down. As the ball gets away, and that'll get Sean Ewell over to third. Very lackadaisical throw in that was lollipopped and missed. And so now a runner 90 feet away for Austin Gauthier.
Yeah, already talked about his capabilities with runners on base. Now he's got one well into scoring position here with Sean Ewell at third. Speedier than he looks, but not really a chance for him to tag on that fly ball. But heads up base running as ball squirts away from Michael, spelled Michelle. Michael just rolling around on the infield grass.
Sonny Michel of the New England Patriots. Sony. Ball gets away from catcher Morale, but not moving is Sean Ewell, and it's 1-0.
Georgia Bulldog legend, Sony Michel.
Big Train lead at 3-0 here in the second inning. Due up for the Giants when they come up to the plate is the 4-5-6 hitter Morale, Lavelle, and Wilkinson. Lavelle a couple of days off before coming back into the lineup. Gauthier takes a pitch that moves well outside, and the count is now 2-0. Looks like Zach Locke up in the bullpen. Been a couple of days maybe a week since we've seen him. He was away visiting family.
I think he's just getting a bullpen session in.
Yeah.
Not scheduled to pitch tonight.
Got to say, Worm is that gets away from the catcher Morale. Here comes the runner to the plate, and he is safe. Sean Ewell in to score, and the Big Train lead it 4-0. Very slowly developing wild pitch situation. Arguing it with it is the catcher Morale, but Sean Ewell in with the 4th run of the game.
I don't know. Somebody was screaming no. I don't know if that was Coach G, the third base coach, behind him, somebody from the dugout. But Sean Ewell, the second that ball scored it past, not a huge backstop area behind the plate. That ball definitely had some time to rebound, but Morale got a decent flip to Michael, the pitcher, but really great slide by Sean Ewell there. That 6-3 frame sliding in underneath the tag to score the 4th run of this one.
There's a strike from Michael, and it's 3-1. And yeah, the backstop really doesn't have a lot of give here at Criswell Automotive Field. It's up and in, and there's another walk for Gauthier. He's drawn 2 today, and that'll bring up Matt Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, not a guy that really needs help with his on-base percentage. He's been very effective at getting on board. Coming into today with 17 walks drawn, now an even 19 RBIs and 19 bases on balls.
All righties available out of the bullpen today for the Big Train, as we've been given, of course. We'll figure that out eventually. Thomas does a Jason Worth-esque lean back for that first pitch, and it's 1-0. 1-0 the count with the runner on first base. Austin Gauthier. Rocco Pepe would be next if Thomas gets on. Here's the pitch now. Thomas takes a hefty cut at that one. It's 1-1.
And the offense has been working in different ways here. Obviously been efficient at getting on base, but they've done it with a little more base hitting here rather than just being able to work on the base paths before. Obviously the 2 hit batters and the walk sprinkled in for Foster, Gauthier, and Thomas in the first. And meanwhile, they've got 2 runs in each of the first 2 frames.
Good off-speed offering from Michael, but it's taken for a ball, and then the count goes to 2-1. Good take there from Thomas. That was a tough pitch to lay off.
They've shown off a lot of the patience, a lot of the just focus at the plate and in the batter's box that I think makes this team so explosive at points. Obviously struggled to put up torrid numbers of runs in the last few games like they had over the first few weeks of the season. So who knows? Maybe they're due for a 15-plus run outburst here in Gaithersburg.
Yeah, they've been before that 19-run outburst. They had just put up a few runs all season, or a couple of games in a row. And last night, of course, 7 runs was their most. And since that first Lorton game a couple of weeks ago, but already close to equaling that total. Thomas takes a good pitch from Michael, and that'll bring the count to 3-2. Runner will be in motion, I assume, with 3-2 and 2 outs. He is going. Thomas takes up and in and dances out of the way, and it's another walk, back-to-back, issued. And the third of the game issued by Jake Michael.
Third of the game, 2 hit batters sprinkled in. A couple base hits given up in this inning. Not the start he was looking for, trying to get back into his rhythm. Big Train offense looking to get back into their rhythm, and they've done so by each of the top 3 hitters now, Foster, Gauthier, and Thomas. Just to reiterate the point made a few moments ago, both on all 3 of those on base in both of the first 2 innings, and now Pepe joins the party with his 11th hit by pitch WARN of the year. It's been a while. He's slowed down the pace. That one just clipped his front shoulder a little bit.
Still close to that record that he probably doesn't want of 21 in a season. 10 away now. There'll be a Mound conference now for Jesse Frawley. Talking to Jake Michael is allowed 4. It's been a pretty intriguing start for him today. He hasn't really found the zone.
I think we're going to get a pitching change early here.
And that'll be it for Jake Michael. So we'll have a new pitcher when we come back here on Big Train TV.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy-Walker syndrome. Dandy Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Derek Ivy, the new pitcher here at Criswell Automotive Field, and they'll do battle with the bases loaded against Kemper Alderman, the mighty righty. Ivy pitched once against the Big Train this year, and in 2 innings, he allowed 3 hits, 3 earned runs, walked 2, and struck out 4. So it's a inning and 2/3 for Michael. He allows 4 runs, a lot of hard hit balls, and a lot of free passes, free 90 feet. Ivy looking to change the trend here, though, facing Alderman, who singled in a run his last time up. Looking to do that once more. Bases loaded here and nobody out. Alderman coming up for a big swing as it disappears for a second from the catcher, and it's 0-1. Second time Alderman's been up today. Ivy sets and delivers from the stretch, actually. Taken low, and it's 2-1. Or 1-1, excuse me. Derek Ivy out of Wilson Community College, I think it is.
Yeah, that one outing versus the Big Train, really his most entertaining action of the year.
As he nabs a strike there.
Just
and the count goes to 1-2.
Just one other appearance. 3 total innings on the season.
Patrick Chapman walks by us here on Big Train TV. Hoping for a couple of runs more in here from Kemp Alderman. Ivy's got him where he wants him, though. 1-2 now. Good take there from Alderman. He spits on it, and count goes to even. It's 2-2. Very smart take from Kemp Alderman there.
Yeah, really tough pitch for a guy like him to lay off of breaking ball. Maybe a little bit of a back end slider there for Ivy, breaking away and low on Alderman.
Takes another ball, and the count goes full. 3-2. Good takes, a couple of good takes in a row from Alderman.
So just because it's a new pitcher doesn't mean that the team approach for the Big Train at the plate has changed. They've been very patient today, very happy to take pitches and work the count. And Alderman picking up right where they left off on Michael. Runners go.
And that's taking ball 4, and that'll force in a run. So the Big Train now lead at 5-0. As Kemper Alderman walks to force in a run, his second RBI of the day. And that'll bring up Grant Knipp one more time with the bases loaded.
And number 30 on the season for Big Kemp.
Couple of 30 marks reached tonight. 30 strikeouts on the year for Grayson Hitton, now 30 RBI.
Just really impressive for both those guys in both of those
I feel
categories.
that the RBI is a bit more impressive than the strikeouts. You can be striking out the world and get 30, almost falling asleep. But as Nip takes a strike there, the RBI is pretty.
I think what impresses me more about Hit's strikeout number is the K per 9 or the K per inning.
Up high.
Some of those more sabermetric-esque advanced
I wouldn't call
pitching.
K9
I know.
sabermetrics.
But I mean, coming into today, 28 through 16 innings, now 30 through a flat 17. He's averaging almost 2 per. Right? I'm not going to do the advanced math to get the decimal point there.
If it's 2 per, it'd be around 15, I want to say, 14, 12, I don't know. This ball is taken low, 2-1.
Whatever
But
30 divided by 17 is.
The more
Let me ask Siri.
impressive.
What's 30 divided by 17?
That would be about 1.7647.
Yeah. So take that, any math teacher that told me I'd never have a calculator available.
Nip smokes one way in the air, hoping for a play as the first baseman, Booma. Goes foul.
But yeah, I feel like there's been so many times we've seen Hit just strike out the side. Just completely dominate through a half inning.
What impresses me more about Kemp Alderman's number is that he didn't get here on time. He's been
that's true.
So
I think he was about almost 4 or 5 games late.
So to do that in a shorter amount of time than any other player in the league is just
Well, so did Hit, right?
more. Yeah, Hit did too, and he's had less time to play than Alderman has this year. But still, they're both impressive in their own right. Nip smacks one into left field. That's going to fall in front and go all the way to the wall. That'll probably clear the bases. Racing for second and no. Stopping at third is Alderman. 2 runs come in to score. It's a well-struck double off the bat of Grant Nip, and the Big Train have batted around here in the top half of the second inning.
Yeah, well-deserved piece of base knock there for Grant Nip. Like we said, been out of the lineup for a couple days, but comes back in after striking out in the first. Gets a huge knock there to open this game up even wider. 7-0 now. Touchdown through 2.
So, already equaled the run total they scored last night and making up for some lost time.
Yeah, I think this would be the most runs they've scored almost in the last week.
Doyle,
Again,
who
just uncharacteristic coming into tonight.
singled came around to score his first time up this inning.
This inning. First time up this inning. Works with a comma or without.
Doyle bounces one to third. Here's Wilkinson to make the play. Fires first short-handed, and the side is retired, but not after the Big Train chase across 5 runners. 5 runs come in to score as the Big Train lead at 7-0. We head to the break here on Big Train TV. Grayson Hitt back to the mound for his second inning of work, and he's got a 7 spot to work with. This Big Train put up 5 in the last inning, all on the strength of that 2 RBI double to cap it off.
Nothing like a little bit of run support to get you going in your second inning of work. Now Hitt can be that much more comfortable out there on the bump. Just go in, attack the Gaithersburg order, and do what he does best.
So here's Michael Morale to lead things off. Way back when, Grayson Hitt struck out back-to-back hitters in the opening inning. 1-2-3 as he gets strike in there, picks up where he left off, 0-1. Morale the catcher, Lavelle the designated hitter, and Dylan Wilkinson the third baseman due up in this inning for the Gaithersburg Giants. Good breaking ball from Hitt there, but taken for a ball. Good take there from Morale.
So that last inning with the 5 runs home for the Big Train.
Oh.
Yeah,
very
beautiful pitch.
Fool-worthy breaking ball there from Grayson Hitt as it just spins in there like a top. And the count now is 1-2. To Morale, here's the pitch. Fouled off into the screen, and they'll do it again.
Just 3 hits. The big key, those 3 walks as well, plus the hit by pitch. Really balanced offensive attack through that frame.
Ooh, sails that fastball outside, and it's 2-2. Rain picking up a bit here in Gaithersburg, but not enough to warrant cancellations or suspensions. Just a light drizzle is fouled off again into the crossbar and off and out of play. Morale fighting here against Grayson Hitt, who's certainly made some hitters look silly in this game. The wind is picking up a little bit here.
That's what worries me more
Yeah.
with the tent over our heads.
Breaking ball in there, strike 3 called. Nasty curveball from Grayson Hitt, and he strikes out 3 in a row.
Yeah, and as nasty as the break on that was, the location made it that much better. Right on the outside edge, breaking back a little bit towards the plate. Just sensational location there.
Eddie Lavelle now, the designated hitter, stands in, and just a special pitch there from Grayson Hitt. See, again,
I'd be curious. I might have to
pounds the strike zone, and it's 0-1.
find a time to bring this up to Grayson. The question we ask every pitcher that comes up and joins us here in the Dandy Walker Alliance broadcast booth.
Sorry, but not to step on you there, but it's 0-2 almost as you blink there and speak.
I can't start talking when these pitchers are at work. They just work so quickly. Good pitch there, just below the knees.
It's just zipping in there.
Because he's a guy, and the reason I'm so curious to ask whether he prefers swinging or looking on the strikeout
gets away there
is because he's a guy that can do it in so many ways. He can overpower you with the speed, right, with the heat, but he's so good at pinpointing his locations, especially on those breaking balls, that makes it that much more effective.
Another one up high, 3-2, and the big bender is the one that really excites me the most because it has enough speed off of it to where it'll just mess up your timing every time. 3-2 in there, strike 3 called again. Back-to-back strikeouts back-to-back strikeouts in this one, and 4 in a row.
And showing off exactly what we were just talking about, where on the Morale strikeout, he perfectly pinpoints that location of the breaking ball on the outside edge. Eddie Lavelle back to a 3-2 count, just powers by the fastball. No chance for Lavelle to get the lumber off his shoulder.
So here's Dylan Wilkinson now, as maybe a little bit closer. Hitt could have stood to get that one to reach, but that one bounced in front of the home plate. 32 strikeouts. There's a reason he's got 32 strikeouts and a sub-2.3 ERA this season. He's just been nothing short of impressive here. As that one runs outside 2-0, or inside. On Wilkinson, ditches the batting gloves.
Did he change his walk-up song?
He may have, or they just don't have it. It used to be Cult of Personality. 3-0 here now to Dylan Wilkinson. My living color. So a stray dog seems to be running atop the hill. I don't know whose dog that is.
I don't think it's Stray. I saw him down here with somebody.
Okay, well, he's a little Jack Russell Terrier running around over there. Maybe they're further down the path and we just can't see him. 3-0 offering from Hitt. There's a strike called as Wilkinson was ready to walk on by, but instead it's 3-1.
You thought, boy.
Are you looking for him to attack now that he's got a strike?
Yeah, maybe give something to Wilkinson that the third baseman is going to look to foul off.
Well, Wilkinson instead does not foul that one off and bloops a single in there to left field for the first Giants hit of the day. So
Yeah.
eat your words there, Ben.
Well, something that I think Wilkinson was thinking he could make contact on, and definitely thought he could make contact on that one. So he drives it the other way.
Make contact he did, and here's Michael Booma. Our pal Bryn Smith knows this guy from high school, I believe. We'll have to check in with her on how she knows Michael Booma at the plate, down at number 37.
Darren Schoberg, the home-plate umpire, with a interesting look back there at the speaker, crackling in and out.
You see hit from the stretch, and there's the big bender, taken for a strike, 0-1. Cannot wait to read the game story written by Quentin Corpuel today about how he saw Grayson hit just in action. Another breaking ball for a strike. And after going 3-0 on the last batter, he comes back and spins a couple in there 0-2, and now I think he goes back with hard stuff. After back-to-back breaking balls, he's probably sitting on it.
It's a bold guess. I'm going to go with you on that.
0-2. Did he go around? He did. He's rung up strike 3. And a very impressive way to get out of this inning for Grayson Hitt. He allows the one hit, but he strikes out 3, not in succession. We'll head to the top of the third here on Big Train TV. Here's Nolan Shawnuel, who his last time up hit a well-struck ball in the center field that was mishandled by the center fielder Cam Hyder and fell for a double. Very tough play to make regardless, but Shawnuel looking to do more of the same here as Derek Ivey on for his second and change. It was an inning and 2/3 for Michael, the leadoff hitter, as Shawnuel smokes one into foul territory down the right field line. Not the leadoff hitter, the pitcher of the game, the starter. An inning and 2/3. And a line that he probably doesn't want to go home with. He does allow a plethora of runs to score. Seven nothing. The Big Train lead it here in the top of the third. Shawnuel, big part of that, came around to score. Didn't get any runs chased in on his double, though, as the runner had to freeze because the potential of it being caught. Ivy delivers. Shawnuel takes 0-2. Just an impressive outing thus far for the other side. Grayson Hitt 5 strikeouts in 2 innings. Shawnuel attacks one and sends it foul back into the screen. The very lengthy fence that is, I want to say 40 feet high.
So
Maggie Laird takes a photo of us. You can find all of her pictures. I mean, you'll see them for pretty much all of our social media stuff and all over Instagram. She does a great job.
Powering through the rain right now.
Yeah.
She's an absolute trooper.
Shawnuel, I mean, she's been to every game and doesn't have to be, but she kind of has to be. But,
She does, but that's besides the fact.
Comes to every game,
but
unlike
to
Patrick
your point
Chapman.
about the backstop, I think it's well over 40, because I'm pretty sure these fence
maybe 50
sections.
Maybe 50.
It could even be more than that.
60?
I think these fence sections are 10 by 10.
Sean Ewell gets under one to left field, coming on as a left fielder, and he'll make the catch for the first out.
Yeah, and that one didn't drop, but I think Nolan's been seeing the ball really well tonight. Made a crack earlier about, a little bit more contrast with the white baseball against the gray sky.
Right.
But I think Sean Ewell just seeing it very well. Obviously wasn't able to get that one to drop, but hit a couple really hard hit balls, was all over that first foul ball, deep down the first base line into foul territory.
So Christian Martin up now. Takes a breaking ball just outside.
And that's tough to do when you've had a couple days off.
Right.
It's tough to, get that batter's eye as quick.
Yeah, he was a little bit behind on that one as Keithley made the catch in left field outside or inside again, and it's 1-1. And 2-0. There we go. Find all archived broadcasts of Big Train TV on our YouTube channel. Is off the end of the bat, right back to the pitcher Ivy, and he fires out Martin at first for the second out. Too quickly here for Ivy after shaky last inning. And the order turns over for Darius Foster, who's batting for the third time in 3 innings.
Yeah, and just to go back to your point about Grayson hit before, thought 7 strikeouts in 3 innings was impressive. See what he can dial up here tonight through the rest of his appearance.
He does have a chance to get to 8.
I believe the season high for the Big Train in one appearance is 9.
We got to think with the 7-run cushion, he's probably going to go 5 tonight. He's gone 5 several times this year. That's why he's 2-0.
We've had a bunch of bullpen games as well. Sure, some other arms could use a night off.
Foster takes one at his eyes, 1-0. Here at Criswell Automotive Field, the Big Train lead at 7-0 on the strength of a 5 spot in the last inning. Here comes the rain again, Eurythmics would say, as it falls down on my skin like I don't really know the lyrics, but I forget the lyrics. I really prefer, though, Sweet Dreams. Parentheses are made of these. 3-0 now to Darius Foster. 2 phenomenal Eurythmics songs. Sweet Dreams, I best remember the X-Men movie. That was the song that played when Quicksilver saved everybody from the exploding house. Foster takes a strike. Maybe thought that was a ball, but didn't walk to first base like Dylan Wilkinson did. 3-1.
Yeah, able to check himself on the bat discard.
And if the rain stays at a steady stream like this has been tonight, where it's just a little bit of a drizzle and not too much, I'm fine with that. Doesn't really hurt anybody too much. Foster comes up empty on a swing and a miss, and the count runs full.
I also think nobody's going to be really listening to our opinion as much because we are under a tent.
That is true. But the wind picking up does allow the water to blow in a little bit.
Just a little bit. We'll live.
Just be happy that you're back home and dry and watching this game. 3-2. Foster gets under one to right field. Should be playable for the right fielder, Mercer. Settles under it. Easy catch there to make. 1-2-3 inning for the Giants. Or 1-2-3 inning for Derek Ivy. Grayson hit back to the mound here on Break Train TV when we come back. So here is the leadoff hitter, Ryan Martinez, out of San Francisco. Knows a couple of guys on the Big Train team. Of course, Darius Foster. And our dear departed friend, departed back home, of course, Jesse Barron. First pitch from hit.
Don't talk like that. Otherwise, Castellanos might come out of nowhere to hit a home run.
I'm not delivering a eulogy on air, Ben. Breaking ball outside, 2-0. I find it hard to believe that no one even batted an eye back in 2015 when Tom Brenneman, when a guy said he will be dearly missed. Joey Votto hits a home run and goes, "This ball will be missed." As the ball is broken his bat up the first base line. Gonna need some new lumber there.
I think Grayson hit.
And go out there and get the bat.
It's not his job, not his bat. Yeah.
Owen out here eating a cheeseburger on his inning off. We'll have to get back out there in just a bit, though, if the Big Train come back up.
I was saying, I think Grayson hit almost went to field the barrel of that bat. Kind of
So
took a
that
step
reminds
to his
me,
right.
that now brings up the memory of Roger Clemens throwing the bat at Mike Piazza, where he said he thought it was the ball. There's no way he thought it was the ball.
It's Roger Clemens. Is anyone's really surprised by that?
And the way he just aggressively speared it towards him. Pitch, again, fouled off of an extremity. Count is still 2-2.
Just to go back on what we were saying about season highs and strikeouts. After crunching the numbers, I believe Grayson hit start down in Alexandria on June the 25th.
Breaking ball in there. Strike 3 called. The 6th strikeout of the day. The 4th strikeout looking for Grayson Hitt, and he continues to just toy with the opposition as Martinez is down looking.
And 4th in a row looking.
Yeah. Well, sandwiched with in between that is a single.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
fourth out recorded in a row, yes.
Of his 6 strikeouts, the last 4 have been looking.
There you go. First pitch. Whoa. Just a bit high.
Just a bit.
It's all right. 1-0.
As I was saying, 10 strikeouts for Hitt in that win.
There's
A 5-2 decision over Alexandria.
There's a strike, and it's 1-1. Low, ball 2.
4 innings, 3 hits, just 1 run, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts for Hitt in a stellar start down at Frank Mann Field.
Hitt has just allowed 1 hit. 2-1 now. Bounce foul again, and the count now. Stop me if you've heard this before, Ben. 2 strikes for Grayson Hitt.
I have heard that before. What do you want me to stop you from doing?
I don't know. 2-2. Bounce to the third base or shortstop. There's Gauthier, fires to first. Low throw, but handled by Sean Ewell. And the first non-strikeout out recorded since the first inning for Grayson Hitt.
Almost feels wrong. Good play there. Not an easy hop for Gauthier at short.
Yeah.
Tough scoop for
And Hyder's
Sean
pretty
Ewell
quick.
at first as well.
Cam Hyder's pretty quick, so good play there, good scoop. And here's Dusty Mercer. Leadoff hitter out of Virginia Tech. First pitch low, ball 1. Hit 6 strikeouts through 2 2/3 innings. Working very quickly. Back into the screen and the chain link fence.
The towering chain link fence.
1-1. It's almost like a prison.
It's very protective, that's for sure.
Please save me from this prison, the Giants are saying, as they're trailing by 7. Here's the pitch now. Oh, nasty breaking ball from Grayson Hitt. And it's 1-2.
I think we should just start, the next time we come up here, should just be marketed as Big Train TV, Hell in a Cell.
I wouldn't mind that. Here's the 1-2. Strike 3. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day, but slipping a little bit on the turf is hit and reaching on the strikeout. The 7th of the day for Grayson Hitt. Reaching is Dusty Mercer.
Yeah, so that technically counts as a strikeout, right?
Yes. Strikeout on his line. I was gonna do a little thing there, but I'll wait if he strikes out this batter to do my phrase that I was going to say after that. So here's Carson Keithley, who, if you can believe it, struck out his first time up. Hit it. It's just nothing short of impressive what he's been doing all season long. 7 today, up to 35 strikeouts on the season, and bidding for his third of the inning with recording 4 outs.
Some pitching appearances sprinkled in as well. Ooh.
Up and in and skipped off the elbow of Carson Keithley, and he's aboard. So here's Luke Keischel. 2 runners on. First time there's been a runner in scoring position for the Giants today. And a guy that can put the ball in play very well, Luke Keischel, even though he was retired via the strikeout his last time up.
Just a quick little praise of hit there on the drop third strike a couple batters ago. Now really hustled for that ball as it squirted up the cutout to the mound.
Fields his position. First pitch. Good breaking ball from hit, but taken for a ball.
Especially on a night like this where the rain's, coming down pretty steadily now for about the last 2 innings.
It stopped a little bit.
You're going to see a lot of pitchers, maybe be a little more hesitant to come down off the bump, be worried about maybe slipping, losing a cleat.
Especially with that dirt path.
And, obviously that's kind of what happened to Hit. Ended up on his behind,
Count
his
is now
derriere down in the dirt.
Count is now 2-0 to Luke Keischel.
Showed some great hustle trying to get to that baseball and record the 3rd out of this inning.
There's a reason this guy goes to Alabama.
Plays hard. Kid plays hard.
Plays hard. Nice guy, loves the game. Here's the pitch. Tapped up to short. Gauthier fields it. Double clutches, fires first. In time to retire the side. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. Grayson Hit is having a day. 7 strikeouts through 3 innings as we head to the top of the 4th here on Big Train TV. Austin Gauthier, the leadoff hitter. Grayson Hit has just been impressive today. And something that we've said quite often is Ivy works in his 3rd inning. Pumps a strike in there 0-1. Another strike from Ivy, and it's 0-2 quickly here on Gauthier. Gauthier today, it's been a pretty easy day for him. He's walked both times. The 0-2 here, going to be a bit tougher for that. Just got a piece of that one, fouls it down to Coach Bender at first base. Count still 0-2.
Collects the protective batting equipment, fields ground balls, dials up the hitting coach. Is there anything he can't do?
We'll have to ask him if he can parallel park.
Or drive a boat. Let me drive the boat.
Matt Thomas says, and I quote, "I love to parallel park." 0-2 now to Gauthier. Swing and a miss as it gets away. And he is retired for the first out. Not even attempting to run down to first. And here comes Matt Thomas, the man we just mentioned. Speak of the devil.
Does love to parallel park.
Yeah, he does.
Not an easy thing to do at times.
Matt Thomas. Tomas. Ta-ta. Canadiens lost the Stanley Cup final last night in 5 games. Nikita Kucherov wasn't very happy. First pitch to Thomas. Skips to the backstop, and it's 1-0.
Did Sal just say we might get Owen up?
I'd love to see that. He's not listed on the official roster, though, as it's 1-1.
Who is the guy? This might be a question of all people you can answer. Who is the guy on the Reds where he was like a legal little person? And they just gave him like a mini bat, put him in the batter's box, and he took a 4-pitch walk or something.
Okay, so it wasn't the Cincinnati Reds. It was the Cleveland Browns. It was a Mike Veck thing, and it was Eddie Gadel.
Yeah, him.
And he was an actual dwarf, and he wore 8 2/3, I want to say, or 9 2/3, something like that. Is a strike taken there. Not an obscure reference, because this is a well-known baseball, schism,
Legend.
I guess. Legend. Eddie Gadel went in and took a 4-pitch walk because he had no strike zone. And
So I'm saying, if you can find a jersey small
Bill
enough.
Veck is the guy that did it. As Thomas rips one up the middle, fielded by the shortstop, fired to first in time. Good play there from Keichel, and there's 2 down.
If you can find a jersey small enough for the best bat boy in the CRCBL coming into frame right here, dragging that piece of lumber away with him.
So, here is Rocco Pepe. Double play and a hit by pitch. Looking for his first pitch from Derek Ivey.
He'd fit right in with how this lineup takes walks. Not the
Ben's
worst
out of
idea
the
I've
way.
heard this year.
1-0 now. Again out of the way, and it's 2-0. He was hit by pitch already today. He's been hit by pitch several times this season, 11 to be exact. He rips one to third, bobbled a bit by Wilkinson, but either way, he gets the out at first. The side is retired a 1-2-3 inning for the Big Train. Still leads 7-0. We'll be back here on Big Train TV. back here on Big Train TV's Grayson Hitt set for his 4th inning of work tonight. He struck out 7 in 3 innings and has been nothing short of impressive. The Alabama attendez. Roll Tide, he probably says at some point in his life.
Great walk-up song, too.
Yes, he'll face Michael Morale, the catcher, who Ben is jamming out to his at-bat song.
See, normally that song is saved for somebody with the name Mac. So you get those a lot.
Outside ball 1. A hit tweet. Into right field and bouncing behind the right fielder Doyle and all the way to the wall, and that'll allow Morale to get to second base. See, took a funky hop past him as he played that on a hop, and it bounced past him. So here's Eddie Lavelle with a runner in scoring position now. First extra base hit allowed today by Grayson Hitt, and the second hit altogether.
You don't really see funky hops like that in the outfield too often. Just an unfortunate break there for Doyle and Wright.
This is where Hitt gets into attack mode. Here's the first pitch. Zips a fastball up high, and it's 1-0. I mean, we saw him have a very Jacob deGrom-esque mentality in his last start, where he allowed that home run, and he's like, all right, you got that? That's it.
That's all you're going to get.
That's all you're going to get. And he came in and just fired for the rest of his outing. I think it was 4 as he takes a strike there, a 1-1.
It was 3.
3 innings. Has a longer leash today. I don't know if it's – we see Cooper Ron's up in the bullpen.
He might just go the full 5 at this point.
Why let me go 9?
Well, I don't know about that.
That doesn't happen. Coach Sal does not let pitchers go 9 in this league.
It's not what they're here to do.
Right. Here to get in the game and play, as they'd say if you were backyard sports. By the way, one of the most underrated intro songs,
yes.
Intro themes ever, and it's nowhere on YouTube, and I'm very sad.
Well, we can work something out after the game.
1-1.
I'll just open it, and you can record it on your phone.
Swing and a miss. Comes up empty there, and it's 1-2. Come on, let's get together, and that was just a phenomenal song to get ready to play a game, and then you'd have like some random athlete like Tom Brady, or not at random, but some high-profile athlete say, get in the game and play. It was so cool. 1-2 here to Eddie Lavelle. Bounces it, 2-2. Big Train in prime position to win the Montgomery Cup tonight for the head-to-head record of all teams in Montgomery County. They would go 8-3, I believe it is, and not possibly be able to lose out. Among them in the Silver Spring Tacoma T-Bolts. Swing and a miss, strike 3, number 8. Count them up, 8. Crazy 8s for Grayson Hitt, as the cards keep falling in his favor, and there's one down. Hit ready to go here against Dylan Wilkinson, who singled his last time up. The first hit against the Big Train pitcher. Takes a strike in its own 1. 8 strikeouts. Breaking ball bends in there, and it's 0-2.
Too sunny, right?
Yeah. 0-2 here. Looking for number 9. Here's the pitch. In there, strike 3 called. Back-to-back strikeouts. And Wilkinson is retired, and there's number 9 for Grayson Hitt, who is now up to 37 strikeouts on the year. There's nothing more you can say about him. He's been phenomenal.
Yep. That's it. Got nothing else to say.
First pitch. Up high a little bit, 1-0. Here to Michael Booma, the first baseman, who, if you believe this. Struck out looking his first time up. Bounces one right in front of the plate. Hit the easy play. Loops it to first in time to retire the side. So 4 scoreless innings for Grayson Hitt under his belt. We'll see if he's back for the 5th, but for now, Big Train coming up when we come back here on Big Train TV. Back here on Big Train TV, Big Train lead at 7-0. Grayson Hitt has 9 strikeouts through 4 innings. We'll see if he's back to the mound, but Derek Ivey doing the yeoman of the night work for Gaithersburg. They're just looking for answers. 2 hits allowed tonight. So we do see some action up in the bullpen, some guys standing around. We did see Ron's warming up. Not sure if he'd come in this early into a game. Alderman hacks one way up there and foul. Heads up. I hope my car is okay because I parked right behind the fence. Maybe not smart in hindsight, but still.
Got to do what you got to do.
Especially when I thought there was a space, but there was not.
Wonder why that would be.
Don't know. Alderman comes up empty on a swing and a miss, and the count runs to 0-2. On deck for the big, or due up for the Big Train in this inning, Alderman, Nip, and Doyle. So yes, Cooper Rons is up and throwing in the bullpen for Bethesda. Not sure if he'll come in this early, like I said, but could stand to believe that Grayson Hitt's night is done. So Alderman sends one way up there, heads up behind home plate. Hits the whoa.
Hit the roof of the press box concessions facilities. Nearly hit the truck parked behind him, I believe. Belongs to the Gaithersburg general manager. Safe and sound for now. I mean, that thing's got to be high, very, very high, to get over the backstop.
Yeah, just think about that. Alderman takes one in the dirt, and it's 1-2. I will say, Gaithersburg's ballpark is very underrated. Of the 6 we have in the league, Povich obviously is the best, and then they move down the line.
No question about that.
DC, I would say, is pretty good too. And Gaithersburg, I enjoy. I enjoy 72 is rung up there as Kemp Alderman for the first out. All the fields are nice in their own way. I feel like it's just hard to gauge how good a field is based on where we're set up as opposed to just seeing the whole thing, as fans often do. So here's Grant Nip, 1 for 2, 2 RBI double in this game. He smacks one to center or right field. Going back onto the warning track is Mercer. He comes over and makes the catch for the second out. A loud out number 2 for the Big Train. And here comes Trevor Doyle. A long and lacing F9 into near foul territory for Nip. comes up wishing he was standing at home or standing at second with another double. Instead, it's not the hit he was looking for. The hit we were looking for, though, was on the mound tonight. Grayson hit, and he has just been tremendous. Doyle swings and misses for strike number one.
I'm trying to remember what it was I texted you this morning when we were looking at the...
You were like thinking about seeing a pitcher with 2.25 ERA and 28 strikeouts on the season.
You know what?
And then I said Grayson, one hitter.
I'll tell you what,
Doyle
Tyler,
takes a strike in there, and it's 0-2.
he has delivered so far.
He has, and I don't know if he's done. He is standing outside the dugout right now talking to his pal Jake Eddington, two teammates at Alabama. But Rons has been throwing for a while now, so his night is likely done. Nonetheless, 9 strikeouts in 4 innings is special. Trying to do a goalie save there is Morale behind the plate, but it's a ball. 1-2, I believe. Grayson Hitt shrugs his shoulders behind the dugout and is just like, yeah. Very Jacob deGrom-esque. 1-2 offering now to Trevor Doyle. In there, strike 3 called, and the side is retired. So we'll see who is on the mound when we come back. Doesn't look to be Grayson Hitt, and it looks to be like it's going to be a new pitcher. We'll see you for that when we come back here on Big Train TV. Cooper Rons does take over on the mound, in fact, and he'll take on the first hitter of the inning, Ryan Martinez. So Hitt's night is done, and it was a very impressive night. 4 innings pitched, just 2 hits allowed, and 9 strikeouts, no earned runs, as he continues to impress here in the CRCBL.
Yeah, just a lights out starting effort from Grayson Hitt. In line to get the win in my book, but
so here's a maybe even quicker worker. Rons, it's lined right to Pepe for out number 1. That was a Adam ball right there.
working so quickly, can't even praise Grayson Hitt enough.
Rons, I mean, Hitt's a fast worker, but Rons, let me tell you, maybe less than 30 ticks per pitch, 30 milliseconds. We'll have to see. Bounces one in there for a ball. It's 1-0. Count is now 3-0 to Cam Hyder, and there's a strike from Ron's. 3-1. Ron's, after starting off the season very well, has hit his low point recently, but breaks the bat there and right to the first baseman, Sean Uell, who flips it back to Ron's for the second out, and certainly 2 good outs to get if you're Cooper Ron's. I'm thinking he's going 2 or 3 tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably in for some solid innings of long middle relief here. And a really good start here with 2 very quick outs. A couple decently hit balls, but right at the opposite corner fielders here for the Big Train defense.
So only 1 player left on base thus far for the Gaithersburg Giants. They've just been held in check by the left arm of Grayson Hitt. Fouled back in the screen, 0-1 from Cooper Ron's. Hit Ron's errors. There's no errors on this team. If there was an errors, that would be amazing. There's no errors on this team. Leadoff hitter Dusty Merster is in. He's struck out and flown out. He did reach on that strikeout. His count is now 2-1 to him. Steady rainfall here at Criswell Automotive Field, but not enough to warrant anything. 3-1 the count, and 7-0 the score here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. There's a strike called for Cooper Ron's, and now 2 strikes. It's not raining too terribly hard out there, but it is coming down. Bounce right up the middle. Here's the second baseman, Martin. Underhands first in time, and it's a 1-2-3 inning, picking up where Grayson Hitt left off. Good inning for Cooper Ron's. Big Train due up when we come back here on Big Train TV. Rhett McCafferty takes over on the mound for the Giants after a couple of pretty good innings for Derek Ivey.
Yeah, really came in, had to work out of a couple of jams, but settled things down for this Gaithersburg pitching staff, and now we'll hand it over to a guy who I feel like we see every time these two teams square off.
That is very true.
A lefty out of Texas State, Rhett McCafferty.
Pops a strike in there. And it's 0-1 to the leadoff hitter of this inning to start us off. Nolan Sean Uell, he's doubled and flown out today.
McCafferty on the year, 5 appearances, 2 starts for Gaithersburg, 14 1/3 innings of work, and a 4.39 ERA, 15 hits, 10 runs, 7 of them earned, 13 strikeouts and 6 walks.
It's fouled off there by. Oh no, it looks like we have a pinch hitter. Yeah, Danny Neary into the game for Nolan Sean Uell, maybe in at first base. We'll have to see.
or maybe in for Grant Knipp, and we'll see, some double subs and some switcheroonies to come.
We'll have to see what it is as he goes around on a half swing and strikes out for the first out. So Nerai is retired, and that'll bring up Christian Martin. Top of the sixth, Big Train still lead at 7-0. Nerai into the game, first crossed off the bench for the Big Train. Pops the ball outside, and it's 1-0. Big Train still up by a lot in this one and looking to hold on to this one in this game.
4 hits, 5 runs, a double, single RBI, 6 walks drawn for Christian Martin in his shortened season so far. A late arrival.
Martin has been, I've been pretty impressed with how he's handled himself as he weaves out of the way, but it's still a strike. 2-1. Low, outside, 3-1 now to Christian Martin.
Martin has definitely shown a propensity, as we just mentioned with that stat line, to be able to work the count, as with most of these Big Train batters, but definitely a strength of his skill set.
Sears one up the middle for a base hit, and he is aboard with no one out, or with 1 out. Train keeps rolling on here.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting there. Just was praising his eye, but he sees that one all the way, puts it right back where it came with a solid base knock straight back up the middle. First base runner here in the top of the 6th, and turns the order over for Foster and Co.
Foster today has flown out twice and was hit by a pitch to lead things off today. Did come around to score on that. Playing fly-out roulette to the outfielders. F8, F9. Will he get the F7 here? Hope not. Hope it's an F7 over the head of 7. Foster takes one low. Strike, though, and it's 0-1. Grayson hit on the season, now 37 strikeouts, and with these 4 scoreless innings, will likely have trimmed his ERA down below 1 or below 2. Just been an absolute godsend for this team. Low, 1-1. Gem of a find though for Coach Sal. Not really a find, but a gem of a pickup for this season. Takes again low. Count now 3-1 to Darius, or 2-1 to Darius Foster. I think the count's wrong out there on the scoreboard. We'll have to figure it out. McCafferty has the sign. He delivers the lefty. Foster breaks his bat, lines it into right field for a base hit. That'll fall in front of the right fielder Mercer. And chugging for third is Martin. Throw coming in, and he is safe. Very, very smart base running there from Christian Martin. And now 2 runners on with 1 out for Austin Gauthier.
Yeah, and obviously heads-up play to get all the way to third for Martin, but that's a risky play for Mercer out in right field in the Gaithersburg defense, because if you throw it down to third, and I think Keishel cut that off kind of before it got all the way to Wilkinson there at the third base bag, but if that wasn't right on the money and all over that, Foster could be standing on second now with 1 out and 2 runners in scoring position for Gauthier. He may be there pretty quickly regardless, but
yeah, very well there as Gauthier takes the ball 1-0.
But I feel like we praise Foster so much for his general plate approach, for his eye, for his speed on the base paths. He's been a pretty great hitter as well. Taking that one, pulling it solidly into right field, just dropping it in for a nice base hit. A couple really nice singles back-to-back to different parts of this field.
Good pieces of hitting here with one out and dropping a ball on the outside half to make it a 2-0 count. Top of the sixth, Big Train have not scored since that fateful second inning. But the 7 runs loom large here at Criswell Automotive Field. Nod of approval from our assistant GM, Patrick Chapman. There goes Foster. Throw down. Bounces. Not in time. Coming home is Martin. He will score. And there's the first run since the second inning. Heads up base running by Christian Martin. He steals home. And the Big Train have an 8-0 lead.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you can't do if you're Luke Keeschel. You know, or I think that's Ryan Martinez, the second baseman covering. I want to make sure I get that right. Obviously made a nice tag. Not enough to get Foster. But he comes up, he's looking at the ball in his glove, a little frustrated maybe with the call, but meanwhile Martin is coming home from third without even a throw home.
Very smart base running, something we've seen them take advantage of several times this season, Christian Martin.
And we've seen it backfire. I think was it against DC or was it against Gaithersburg the other night at Povich, Gauthier walks for the third time, that Johnson tried to score on a throw down to second and ended up being gunned down by a mile at home plate. So
yeah.
It goes both ways, and that's why, you know, to me, when I see Martinez not even looking at the runner coming home from third, got to question that.
So it's a new count now as Gauthier walks for Riley Johnson, pinch hitter, taking over for Matt
Speaking of the devil.
Thomas. Johnson was thrown out and nearly made a Chris Coughlin-esque drive as he squares to bunt. Not moving anywhere as anybody there. Yes, Gauthier reaches on the walk. 8-0 the Big Train lead. Trying to tack on some more runs here. 4 runs away from the witching run.
At this point, they barely need it. It's not even 8:45, and we're midway through the 6th. Knock on wood.
Big Train. This is not wood, Ben. This is linoleum? No, not linoleum.
No,
I don't know.
linoleum's like rolled metal.
Yeah. I don't really know
Probably
what
what
it
the
is.
bleachers are made out of.
But a couple of lefties crossed off the bench for Sal Colangelo here in the 6th inning, Nearai and Riley Johnson. Johnson will likely take over in center for Matt Thomas as he has manned center field quite often this year. Made some phenomenal catches, phenomenal plays. Don't ever question him when he's in the field. He does square to bunt again, called strike, 2-1. As I was told by an ECU fan account, I believe it was.
Yeah. King Riley, they call him.
Don't question any decision he makes on the field because he's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. So Riley Johnson now with a 2-1 count. Takes the ball, back pick on, or no, throw down to Foster, and he steals third. So Foster on third, Gauthier at first. Runners on the corners here. Pair of stolen bases for Darius Foster here in the 6th. It's Big Train lead at 8-0.
Just easy work. Easy work for Foster.
Slight work.
Now 18 for 21 on the year.
Bidding for, I think that is. Johnson smokes one in the left field. Coming on as the left fielder, Keithley will make the play. Tagging is Foster. The throw is not in time. He's safe. And you can almost bet your bippy that he's going to get home on a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, I mean, that's
depth.
That's about as close as you were going to get it. Not quite on line and a little short. So Morale couldn't get the tag over. No slide necessary for Foster as it makes it 9-0 here.
So F7, 9-0 the score. Big Train continues to roll on here. Revenge is a dish best served aplenty. Team that has beat them twice this year, only team to do so. They've fallen to every team once at least this season, I believe, or they've fallen to 4 of the 5. Some variety here. First pitch from McCafferty. Bounce to third. Pepe to second for 1. Wilkinson fires and gets the force to retire the side, but not after a couple more runs come across. The Big Train lead at 9-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th here on Big Train TV.
Ready?
Yep. So Cooper Ron's out for another inning of work as Carson Keithley comes up. He struck out and hit by pitch today. Big Train holding on to a 9-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th. So Ron's pops a strike in there. Let's see. Wasn't paying attention there as Keithley, doesn't matter, is bounced up the first base side, cut off by the first baseman Nerai, and flipped to Ron's in time for the first out. Nerai looks like an old pro out there at first base.
Yeah, I was just going to say, good play by Nolan Shanuel. Wouldn't even have noticed. Smooth transition from one first baseman to the next. First time we've seen Nerai out in the infield this year, but got to do what you got to do.
Believe that is Riley Johnson in center. I'll have Ben look at that in the binoculars.
That would make sense.
As Keishel takes the ball outside. Cooper Ron's 4 consecutive outs here. Very efficiently working on the mound here in the bottom of the 6th.
Got eyes on Riley Johnson out there in center. Don't believe there's been any other changes besides those two.
Johnson can man center like it's nobody's business. 1-0 here. There's a strike from Ron's, and it's 1-1. Like a hawk patrolling center sometimes. Skips way up under the backstop. 6th inning, Big Train lead at 9-0. Tyler Gallo and Ben Bobek here with you on Big Train TV as the Big Train look for their 20th win, and they look to lay claim to the Montgomery Cup here tonight. Has Keishel a bit late on that one, swings and misses, and it's 2-2. Rons delivers. Hit high and deep to left center field. Going back is Johnson onto the warning track at the wall. He makes the catch for the second out.
I did not think that's how that play was going to end.
Yeah, that
thing was loud.
So a very, very loud F8 for Luke Keishel, and here's Michael Morale.
I believe it's an EFO in your book.
EFO, see now, here's how I score an EFO. I score it if the fans go, whoa. I didn't really hear any whoas on that, so just an F8 for me.
Okay.
But EFO is something that you can use whenever you want. Want to know? An Al Galloism, probably the best Al Galloism, besides when someone strikes out to the inning, sit down, go get your glove and go out in the field. That ball's hit high and deep to left field. Going back is the left fielder onto the warning track, and it's gone. Goodbye. A long home run here for Michael Morale, and the ice has been broken for the Gaithersburg Giants. Michael Morale goes yard as the Big Train now only lead by 8.
Yeah, Morale really does have some pop in the middle of this Gaithersburg order. He's been able to deliver those a couple times throughout the year and really just way over that pitch and smokes it to deep left field into the forest and out of here for a big fly.
Well, hey,
Morale.
that's why he's in the 4 spot. That's why he's batting cleanup. That ball's hit high, but foul. Heads up. Oh, just landed on the field. Strike 1.
His second of the year.
Very, very long home run for
RBI.
Michael Morale and 2 loud consecutive batters for Cooper Rons.
RBI number 18.
Left that fastball up there. 9-1. Bounces in there, 1-1. First home run of the game we've seen.
First home run in a while. Well, I guess.
First home run the Big Train have
since
allowed
last night.
since 2 games ago, I think. Boom.
Versus
Ball.
DC. Was that 2 games ago?
I'll have to see who won the last opposing.
I don't think anybody homered in the DC game.
No one for Lorton homered, that's for sure. Or for the South County Braves.
Kemp did, though.
Another bounce. Yeah, Kemp sent one into orbit, as he often does in Lorton. 3-1 the count now. Hasn't been an opposing home run in quite some time, actually. It was Dylan Oxer. Oxer was the last home run against the Big Train back at Silver Spring, or back home. Again, fought off by number 15, Eddie Lavelle, the designated hitter, as Ron's just searching for that 3rd out. 9-1 still, though. A lot of runs to come back. And up and in, ball 4. And there's a walk for Eddie Lavelle with 2 outs. So here's Dylan Wilkinson.
Wilkinson 1 for 2 on the day with, guess what? Strikeout looking at the hand of Cooper, or recent hit.
Yeah, and for just
Singled back in the second. This one hit loudly.
Yeah, loudly into right field, falling in front of the right fielder, Doyle, and it's a single, his second of the day for Dylan Wilkinson, who has found a way to reach base twice despite the lifelessness of the Gaithersburg offense through the first couple of innings.
3 hitters in a row now that have reached.
And I'm sure Ron's, after that F8, maybe lost focus a little bit and served up a cookie to the next guy, but she needs to settle in here.
Still 2 outs here, looking to get out of it. Facing Booma.
Pops a strike in there, 0-1. Rain subsided for, still coming down in a light drizzle. Criswell Automotive Field in Durwood, Maryland. Ball taken, and it's 1-1. It's officially Durwood and not Gaithersburg, as we'll see some teams play in, like Coyotes. They were called the Phoenix Coyotes, but they played in Glendale. You know what I mean. There's another fastball up high, 2-1. I mean, the New England Patriots played in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Well, not really a city that they don't
New
play
England
in the
is
same
a region.
Well, I'm trying to think of one. Oh, I got one.
The New York Jets and
Tampa Bay,
Giants.
the Rays and the Lightning both play in St. Pete.
The New York Jets and Giants both play in New Jersey.
Right. Well, but the problem is though with that is that Tampa Bay is just the area and not the city Tampa itself. Oh, long swing and a miss there from Michael Booma. It's 3-2. I'll come up with one in just a second.
I'm sure you will. Maybe this inning will end first.
I mean, the New York Mets play in Flushing, Queens. Breaking ball in there, strike 3 called, and the Siders are tired. So a run across the board for the Giants as they get a home run by Michael Morale, but that's all they get. They leave 2 on as we head to the 7th here on Big Train TV. Cameron Bratton, the new pitcher, as he faces off against the Mississippi Masher Kemp Alderman. First pitch to him.
Trying to mash on that one.
Trying to send one back to Mississippi, but instead he comes up empty, 0-1. It's just an inning for Rhett McCafferty. Before him, 3 1/3 for Derek Ivey, and then an inning and 2/3 for the starter tonight, Jake Michael. Kemp again comes up empty on a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Time is called as they will just talk to the guy on the mound, talk it over. Now, Ben, are we sure that's not confusing us again and it's 16 and not 18?
Let me double check just for you. It's because I know how much you care. Actually, that very well could be 16.
Alderman swings and misses or fouls it off.
I think it's 16
Okay, well then we
upon
have
further examination. But they also don't have a Jack Slade maybe. He's a righty. 18 is...
That is 18. We're good.
Okay.
Alderman fouls it off again. Staying alive here in this at-bat.
You can see where I was thinking there's that little kind of loop-de-loopy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I got confused.
I don't know, man. White numbers on white jerseys should not be allowed.
Because they have white ones on their blue jerseys, which really doesn't make sense to me.
Like the white letters across the chest, okay. Just put the blue numbers on the back, man.
0-2 still to Kemp Alderman.
Ooh, check swing.
Check swing foul.
The amount of power he can get on a check swing is...
The man can flick it with one hand and send it into oblivion. That's just how powerful he is. And we saw that firsthand last night in Lorton. And, of course, 2 other times in Lorton and once at Povich Field. 4 home runs on the season.
No, 5.
5 now.
3 coming into last night in Lorton.
As he takes strike 3 called, and he is rung up for the second straight at-bat.
It was 2 in 1 inning in Lorton.
2 in 1 inning in Lorton. He homered once other time in Lorton, and then where was the other 2? Povich and what other place? Oh, D.C. He homered at D.C. as well. I believe so.
No, he has 4 in Lorton.
He has 4 in Lorton?
Yeah. The 1 the first game, the 2 the other game, and then the 1 last night.
Okay. He didn't homer. I thought he homered in D.C. Anyways, Nip fouls it off. I'm mistaken there.
Yeah,
Either way, they
Tyler.
were all...
God. How? That kind of hurt. Your pen is sharp, man.
It's a felt
Like,
tip.
deserved, but, like, come on.
0-1 to Nip. Reaches for one and fouls it off, and it's 0-2. Alderman struck out here to lead off this inning against new pitcher Cameron Bratton. The catcher Nip did have a base hit earlier today, but has struck out and flew out today. Hit a long fly ball down the right field line. Here at the top of the 7th, Big Train lead at 9-1. See who the new pitcher is next inning, if there is one. Nip takes the ball up high, 1-2. Certainly would like to see Rons for another inning out there, but can never diss Coach Sal and his bullpen choices. We'll see what is up. Time called again as Nip will gather himself again in the batter's box. And he comes up empty. Strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts for Cameron Bratton. And there's 2 down. So Trevor Doyle, the new hitter. Not the new hitter, the
new hitter.
the new hitter, yeah. Danny Neareye would be next, the first baseman, freshly minted into the game. Trevor Doyle tonight, 1 for 3. He grounded out, struck out, and singled. Came around to score on that single as well. Bratton has looked impressive through his first 2 batters. First pitch to Doyle, bounced up the first base side, fielded and knocked down the first baseman, Booma, but he makes the play to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Cameron Bratton. Big Train back to the field when we come back here on Big Train TV. Back here on Big Train TV, and we are very happy to announce that we have the last remaining Big Train debut as Chris Buchholz takes the mound for the first time in 2021. And his delivery, all I can say is
the stuff of dreams.
Stuff of dreams. The submariner, very cool stance. Reminds me of Darren O'Day a little bit. Brad Ziegler, one of those guys.
Yeah.
Chad Bradford is a guy that I really liked. He's not quite
Oakland Athletics legend.
That's going on the obscure
Moneyball
players
guy.
list. Chad Bradford.
No,
Mets
come
legend.
on. He was in Moneyball. That doesn't count.
He was not okay, but he was also a Mets legend. I'm putting him on there. He wasn't.
Didn't that movie win an Oscar?
Bradford technically wasn't in there. It was
Okay, but he was a character. He was a central character.
I wouldn't say essential, but either way.
5'10", 190 for the
Either way,
rising
Chris
sophomore out of
Buchholz.
the University of Maryland. Local kid, graduate of St. John's College High School. Many famous alums in the athletic world from there.
We're just very happy to see him making his debut. First pitch from the submariner, taken for a strike, and it's 0-1.
And you can hear the cheers from the dugout, from the bullpen. Everybody's just so excited for him to get back out there on the mound. Really highly rated prospect out of the state of Maryland.
And
Yankees
you
fan.
You can see why.
Yeah.
Phenomenal delivery. We always love submariners. I always have a special place in my heart, but it's very happy to see him out there on the mound. Was dealing with an injury.
His senior year in high school, 2-0 record, 12 strikeouts, 1 save, and an ERA of .51. The Cadets had a 30-3 record and won the state championship.
And he's just hoping rain, go away right now. Here's a strike, and it's 2-2, and it's just good to see him because he's been dealing with an issue all season long, and he's finally back onto the mound tonight.
Top 30 prospect in the state of Maryland coming out of high school. Dealing with some increased rain here.
As he swings and misses strike 3, and the first batter that Chris Buchholz faces on the season is a strikeout swinging. How about that?
And, we mentioned it just before, but it really is cool to see all the cheers from his teammates. Everybody
He's been here. He's been here every game.
Yeah, everybody just happy for him to start out his season with the big train just like that. The big swing and miss from Martinez.
So the rain doesn't seem to be too hard, as there is a swing and a miss from Cam Hyder, the 9-hole hitter. It's a guy we've been waiting to see make his debut, obviously. I mean, we were
Owens powering through the rain. Brynn's powering through the rain.
I wouldn't say powering through. Bryn is fouled off there by Hyder, and it's 0-2. Buchholz, the righty side armor, submariner, more like. Wonderful as taking skips near his nip, knocks it out. Rain coming down a little harder than it has before all game, but not hard enough to warrant anything once again. It's been a soft and steady flow tonight. One quick out for Buchholz, 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch, low, 2-2 actually.
The interesting thing about the rain passing through the area is normally it's here's some weather reporting for you. Normally it's moving in. A lot of times, a lot of the weather systems we'll see around here will be moving in from the west and heading a little more south out to the ocean. This, of course, being hurricane or tropical storm Elsa coming up from the south, a cyclical storm.
Roped into the right side. Leaping catch made there at second base by Christian Martin. The defensive vacuum continues to impress. And I was about to say, is that Ben Bobeck or Glenn Hurricane Schwartz?
Ollie Williams here. It gonna rain, but not hits. As Fernando Tatis, the third, Christian Martin with a double jump to snag that one out.
Do you want to compare him defensively to Fernando Tatis Jr.?
Lately, yes.
Fernando Tatis Jr. has like 38 errors this season.
I'm just saying.
Low ball one.
Escalated to snag that one out of the sky for out number 2.
So Buchholz 2 quick outs here in this inning. Has a 1-0 to the leadoff hitter, Dusty Mercer. Skips in the dirt. Would be a very encouraging inning from Chris Buchholz in his first inning of work. Seeing a lot of stuff to like out there on the mound.
Robinson, Metz, and Tchaikovsky also available out of the pen.
Bounced up the first base side, taken there by Neareye, flips to Buchholz in time to retire the side. So a 1-2-3 inning for the first big train inning for Chris Buchholz is in the book. Ladies and gentlemen, book him, he says as he gets off the mound. What an inning that was for the Submariner. We'll be back here on Big Train TV for the Big Train half of the 8th inning. After a quite impressive debut inning from Chris Buchholz, Cameron Bratton will look to turn in a 0 as well on the mound as he faces Danny Neary, the first baseman.
Yeah, Neary looking for some offensive momentum here. A guy who can turn it around with one swing of the bat.
So we'll see.
He made his debut at this ball field a couple weeks ago and did so loudly with a big fly. Would love another one of those right here. Swinging for one there.
Yeah, gunning for that as he swings and misses, comes up empty. Struck out his last time up. There does look to be some action in the Big Train pen. I'll get you that in just a second. Looks to me
Robinson?
like that is definitely Kyle Robinson up in the bullpen. So maybe Buchholz just the one inning. And a very impressive inning at that.
That's kind of been the MO for Coach Sal, Coach L, and the pitching staff as a whole is let him get one inning of work just as a debut. I think Robinson, the only pitcher, not a starter.
Gets under one to short, settling under his left fielder, and he will make the catch for the first out.
As I was saying, I think Kyle Robinson actually, he of previous mention, the only pitcher or non-starter this year to make his debut with consecutive innings of work.
And he'll probably look to close this one out. But yes, very happy to see Buchholz on the mound for the first time this year. Hopefully, first of many appearances he has for the remainder of the season. He's been here all along. Secret weapon. Want to know?
Not quite Paolo Espino.
Get out of here.
That's
Get
his
out of
nickname.
town.
That's his nickname, the secret weapon.
So, speaking of nicknames, I got an actual obscure reference for you. The craziest nickname I've ever seen as Christian Martin takes a strike there and it's 1-1. Just the most ridiculous nickname I've ever seen. I don't know how he got it. Former relief pitcher Rudy Seanez, who played for many teams, won a World Series was on the 2008 Phillies. I don't think he got a ring. His nickname, as Martin attacks and sends it into oblivion down the left field line and foul, his nickname was Action Traction. And it just said that on Baseball Reference. I don't know how that happened, but thank you for bringing up the nickname for Paolo
I don't
Espino.
know how one thing led to another. But
It's just like, on the subject of nicknames.
he's just about that action, boss.
Action Traction. Gets traction out of the bullpen. Pumping another ball in there, 2-2 here from Cameron Bratton. Foster stands on deck. The score holds. Big Train would move to 20-5 and would be the owners of the Montgomery Cup after this game. The head-to-head record in Montgomery County teams is up and in, and it's 3-2 now. Count runs full. Good at bat here from Christian Martin. Rain, more steady flow now. Full count offering. Breaking ball, strike 3 called, and Martin is retired for the second out. And here's Darius Foster. Foster tonight, 1 for 3. RBI came all the way around to score on a single. Couple of stolen bases to his ledger. Kicks in the dirt in that batter's box.
He really doesn't like the lines.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
That's something I've noticed. Every time he steps in the box, he does his best to rub them out as best he can.
Well, he's a guy that can beat it down the line pretty well. First pitch from Bratton. Takes the ball, and it's 1-0. Up high, ball 2 to Foster. The rain does seem to be coming down a lot harder than it was before, but with it being the 8th inning, they'll probably just finish this game, regardless of if it's called or not. With it being a 9-1 score, Foster takes a strike and it's 2-1. Not even updating the scoreboard anymore. They just gave up. So, 2-1 now as they finally update the scoreboard. Pitch to Foster. Takes another strike, and the count is now even at 2.
Yeah, thought about that one. Checked his swing.
Foster holding now, waiting for the pitch. Bratton delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the side is retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Cameron Bratton. That's 2 in a row. And we'll head to the bottom of the 8th. It looks like another appearance for Kyle Robinson when we come back here on Big Train TV. Meet the Robinsons. Kyle Robinson takes over on the mound for the Big Train. What a movie that was, by the way.
A fantastic flick.
Starring
Criminally underrated in the Disney portfolio.
And largely forgotten in the Disney portfolio.
Not by me.
Not by me either. That was a movie that defined my childhood.
It kind of explains a lot.
Well, not defined, but one that I really enjoyed. Always, my buddy's nickname is
Actually,
Goob. They're going to
can you get a sticky stuff check?
Or they're going to maybe manicure the mound a little bit with this rain.
Yeah, they just want to make sure it's doing all right out there.
This rain has intensified a bit here.
Sticky stuff check, but not on Kyle Robinson. A sticky stuff check on the mound.
All right. Either way, leadoff hitter Carson Keithley stands in, 2-hole. Whoa. Step right up and greet the Robinsons. Right there. Way over his head. The rain has very much picked up here in Durwood at Kelly Park. Just trying to get through this game. A couple innings to go. Swing and a miss from Keithley, who has reached base once on a hit by pitch, but he's 0 for 2 nonetheless. These guys start to take shelter in the dugout. Robinson, the righties, that gets away again, and Robinson just having a tough time getting a grip on the baseball here in the rain.
Yeah, it's starting to pick up a little bit heavier now.
One and one here, or 2-1 here from Robinson.
Curious if there's any discussion maybe after this inning.
Hit high in the air down the left field line and should be out of play, and it is. Way
Well
out of
out.
play. Near to the bullpen.
Definitely picked up a little bit in the last half inning.
Yeah, and you know, in the 8th inning, and it's a 9-run game, you can call it, and no one will be too mad about it, but they're just probably just trying to get a full 9 in here tonight. Robinson misses there, and it's 3-2. Has a good defense behind him, though, if he does get a ground ball or a fly ball. As that's bounced up the middle. There's the ground ball right to Martin. Oh, and he boots it. As I say that, Christian Martin
Old-time
flubs the ball there.
commentators jinx
Yeah.
right there.
I'm going to say that's an error, or that's going to be an error. And they're going to bring the umpires in, and they might just end this game here. The rain has significantly picked up here. Some yelling from Luke Cohen, the umpire, at somebody in the bullpen, and they might just call everybody off here. So, not sure if the game is over or just suspended. We'll figure that out in a couple of seconds as the umpires convene on the field. Everybody is off the field. Big Train leading 9-1. It'll be one of the quickest games of the year, 2 hours and 24 minutes. I mean, it's 9-1, so I can't see them staying for much longer here. But Big Train be a resounding win for them to respond after their loss last night. Figure out if they are in fact calling the game. It does look to be that way. See some guys running out there along the field. But it's been a good game nonetheless for the Big Train. Put up 9 runs, up 9-1. Saw the debut of Chris Buchholz tonight. A lot of positives to take out of this game.
Yeah, certainly. I think the kind of return of a little bit of offensive rhythm, obviously with that big inning in the second, they kind of tacked on a little bit after that as well. It's been something they've just been lacking the last couple of weeks, and it's just nice to see the bats kind of heat up a little bit. Some pretty solid pitching, especially from Grayson Hitt as well.
So it does seem to be the final. We'll have to get, we're waiting on word from the umpires, and our assistant GM, Patrick Chapman, says that it's all but certain. Sources tell Big Train TV that this game is most likely over. Yep, and they called it. And that is the final score, ladies and gentlemen. The Big Train win 9-1. Game called due to rain as the rain stops here at Criswell Automotive Field. And the Big Train have their 20th win of the season. They move to 20-5. The Giants fall to 13-10 and are in a tie for the second in the division with Alexandria. And the Big Train are now the owners of the Montgomery Cup for another season.
Yeah, so not exactly how they drew it up in the
an
books,
unceremonious
ending, a couple outs early, but they'll take it, like you said, a big 20th win of the year. And, your final thoughts on this, I think player of the game probably goes to Grayson Hitt for his outstanding 4-inning pitching performance, 9 Ks.
Absolutely. Grayson Hitt gets player of the game for me, but also it goes without mentioning, it was a solid performance from the bullpen nonetheless. Ron's, Buchholz, and eventually Robinson. Robinson didn't allow anything, so technically no one allowed, but Ron's and Buchholz came in and picked up the slack. Really good game thus far for the Big Train, and they moved to 20-5. You got to also go with mentioning Grant Knipp checked in with a 2 RBI double, Nolan Shanuel. Just it was a good game across the board.
And Gauthier had a couple nice walks drawn, came around to score twice. That top of the order, Foster, Gauthier, Thomas, eventually Riley Johnson, really deadly at starting the offense. As we've said, a big 9-1 win here in Gaithersburg.
So a final here from Gaithersburg one more time. The Big Train win it by a score of 9-1. Big Train move to 20-5 on the season and move further into the lead of first place as their magic number grows smaller by the day. As we head closer to the playoffs, Big Train will be back in action tomorrow night at Povich Field as they take on the Alexandria Aces at 7 p.m. And they have even 20 wins on the season. We will see you tomorrow night here on Big Tree TV. For Ben Bobek, I've been Tyler Gallo. We'll see you next time.